What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna check out Scary Comp 9 scariest videos that are not for the weak-hearted. Urgh. Let's do this, you guys. Let's do this. Let's go.
Kelsey and Jamie were suddenly jolted awake in the middle of the night by a series of strange noises coming from downstairs. The sounds were unsettling, like faint footsteps and soft creaking, as if someone was moving around the house who definitely shouldn't have been there. Jamie was in deep sleep and dealing with a nasty illness, so Kelsey didn't want to disturb him. Summoning her courage, she grabbed her phone and decided to go check it out on her own. What she captured next was truly bone-chilling.
Okay, guys, it's after 2 in the morning, and I just got up. Jamie's still... What in the hell? Jamie's still asleep. Oh my god, oh my god. These cupboards, I'm so afraid of them opening. I'm just gonna shut the water off here. Oh my god. I just shut that off and that is rolling. Look at this thing. It's rocking back and forth. Oh my god. Leave me alone. Jamie?
It became quickly apparent that no intruder had broken in, but something far more disturbing had. A poltergeist seemed to be behind the disturbances, and this home had never shown signs of supernatural activity until now. Both Kelsey and Jamie were complete strangers to ghostly encounters, which made the event even more terrifying. Kelsey was visibly shaken by the experience and immediately told Jamie what she saw. Unsure of what steps to take and with no experience dealing with paranormal entities, the couple decided to simply hide beneath their blankets. That night, and for several more to come, sleep became a difficult task. A team of night security guards.
All right, so I believe that was the first one. You know what? Giving them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to go with what we just heard and the story. Yeah, definitely. It was very, you wake up in the middle of the night because you hear some noises, that's typical. Um, but then, seeing things happening right before your eyes. Yeah. Could you imagine? You're trying to investigate the noise that you heard. You walk through your house, then you find that the water is on. Now, I wouldn't freak out as much because you already know there's cats. You have cats there, and we know cats. They're curious. They're curious. I would have thought that, it was them. But here's the thing, we actually caught the cats not move from their position at all. There was two cats, both of them was on the counter opposite from the stove and the sink. The reason why I mentioned the stove is because of the ball. They were there when she passed by. They weren't there. They were in the same position when she panned the camera back. So when she turned off the water and it turned back on, that's yeah, you're gonna feel creeped out. But here's the thing. I'm a paranormal investigator, so I look into everything. There was a moment where she was pointing the camera elsewhere, the cabinets and stuff. Who's not to say she turned, if this was all orchestrated, right? This could have been orchestrated. She could have walked, kind of hit the ball so it could get the ball rolling, turned off the water, start looking at the cabinets. She turned it on again. I used this example the last time. We are focusing what we're seeing off the camera, but we could be doing whatever we want way back over here because you're seeing what's in front of you. And we're going to have to go with that. But just the thought of all of this happening while you are trying to investigate a noise. Yeah, for sure. Let's keep it moving.
Guards was startled by loud banging noises coming from the floor right above them. Curious and slightly alarmed, they immediately turned to the security cameras for answers. At first, they figured it was just a late working employee causing the commotion. But Then, it hit them. Only 8 staff members were on duty that night, and all of them were scheduled to be across the complex in the other building. That's when the unease kicked in. Could it be an intruder? Or had something far more sinister slipped past the gates?
Sorry, guys. This is interesting. So check out the wheels, especially this one right over here. It's interesting the movement because it kind of the wheel actually goes, it turns as though it's gonna move forward, but it turns back around to go forward. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly because it kind of turns, like if it's gonna go forward, right? I was gonna say, it's probably being pulled or something like this, but the front wheels turn because it's being, let's say pull or push, right? But then once it start getting some traction, then it turns around again. The front wheels. Check it out.
When they reviewed the footage, they were stunned. There was absolutely nothing up there. No person, no movement. Just an empty, silent room. Still trying to stay rational, the guards assumed maybe a shelf had collapsed on its own. But before they could even finish that thought, something chilling unfolded. Lockers began shaking. A wheelchair moved entirely on its own, and the air grew heavy. This wasn't a prank or break-in. This was paranormal activity in full force. Some say it was a restless spirit trying to make contact. Others believe it was something demonic. Whatever it was, it left no room for doubt. They were dealing with a true haunting. This creepy footage is from
Okay, so where the police gets involved, I have no idea. It makes for a great story, don't get me wrong, but it definitely looks like it was a CCTV, if any, because the position of the camera, what exactly are you trying to catch? CCTV cameras are usually placed like in a hallway to catch the whole hallway. This for me could be a actually a paranormal investigating camera pointing at the wheelchair and the lockers. Because if it was a security camera, they're positioned to catch an array of space, not just a wall. Do you guys understand? But yeah, I find that very interesting. I don't think it matches what the story is, but that was a very interesting catch just because of the way the wheel of the wheelchair started moving. Because it actually looked like the the wheels turned to move forward, and it takes a little bit of force for it, like if the wheels turned in the opposite direction to go straight, and if once you start pushing it, it's going to turn around, and with that it becomes a little bit forceful, which is why it was interesting to me in the beginning. But let's go on to the next.
a person named Daniel, who had recently gone through a divorce. Still adjusting to the loneliness of living alone, he managed to keep things together until something unseen decided to make his life even harder. A ghostly presence began tormenting him for no reason. Daniel had never believed in the supernatural, nor had he ever experienced anything close to paranormal activity. But then something unexplainable happened.
Okay. I've seen this cabinet before, but it hasn't opened since the last time I recorded it opening, because I walked into the kitchen to the refrigerator and I was walking past it and I got about right here and it went and opened behind me and scared the crap out of it. Got my heart thumping, let's put it that way. Because you don't expect that sound as you're walking by and so close to you. But it hasn't opened since, and I can jump up and down and it won't open. See, I'm banging on the floor and it still won't open anymore. I don't know, that's weird. And the refrigerator's been making a god-awful noise. It used to make another god-awful noise, like the fan bearings were screeching, and it was just such a loud whistle. Sometimes I'd just unplug it. But sometimes I could unplug it and plug it back in and it would stop doing it. But now it's making this, whoa! Okay, see, I didn't even move. I wasn't even moving. That's the first time that's happened since the last time. Okay, it's got to be a bed bearing, but I wasn't moving. Look at that. It's closed, and there's nothing on the edge. There's nothing on the edge that would, like here on this edge, that would
Push against it.
push it out. And there's the magnet clip. See, that snap's closed. All right. See? That's the freaking noise. Oh my freaking God. All right. Creepy crap going on in the house. Oh, man. All right. I just wanted to show you that. And I got both of them. Awesome. At the same time. Whew. Still closed. Nothing. Come on, open it again. Let me see, open it again. Come on. I'll even move around. Jumping up and down. Banging on the floor, stomping my...
According to Daniel, the first terrifying incident occurred off camera, which frustrated him deeply as he couldn't prove what had happened. Even worse, he kept hearing strange sounds he couldn't identify, adding fuel to his growing fear. With each passing night, the haunting grew harder to ignore. Still, Daniel refused to back down, enduring the disturbance as best he could. Then, as suddenly as it began, the paranormal events just stopped. No explanation, no final scare. He considers himself incredibly lucky. Most victims of scary encounters like this aren't nearly as fortunate as him. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. On June 3rd.
All right. So here's the thing, right? That is awesome. That is what I would call paranormal activity of regular occurrences, with paranormal activity because yeah, what people usually experience as far as paranormal activity is concerned is doors opening, cabinets opening, fridges opening, closing, noises, all this and that. Now, the noise of the fridge, you just need to get a new fridge, my friend. I'm not sure what are your financials, issues are going, but you need a new fridge. That right there just sounds like the motor is about to blow at any minute, and all your food is gonna go, bad. Now, what I liked about the cabinet is he investigated it. He went up close. He saw all the edges, all the hinges, the locking mechanism. We saw everything. It didn't seem like there was absolutely nothing to cause that to happen. That is what I'm talking about. Even with the AI being used out there. We cannot just trust paranormal activities caught on tape videos just just because it's labeled paranormal activity. No, because now there's a lot of stuff against the paranormal victims, that I say paranormal victims, because now with AI you could create pretty much anything and it looks real. So there's just things to maneuver around it. And as scary and has heart throbbing and heart attack clenching feeling that you get when you experience paranormal activity, if you want us to believe it's true, you're gonna have to take that extra mile. Unfortunately, that is what we need to even consider whether or not something is real. We need evidence, we need proof, we need to see your actions. This guy to me is genuine. This guy caught everything on tape. He investigated everything. Not everybody. I mean, honestly, it seems like he has a good future in the paranormal field. That's all I'm gonna say. But that was an awesome video. I liked it. When I say I like a video, I am saying that it is potentially 99.999% that is real. If I like a video, I would crap on a video otherwise.
13th, 2025, a woman named Meg finally decided to release a video that she had kept hidden for over 6 years. She'd been reluctant to show it to anyone, and once you see it, you'll understand why. It deeply unsettles her to this day. At first glance, the clip seems harmless, just a quick moment she filmed of her brother passed out on the couch the night before his wedding. It was meant to be a lighthearted memory, something to laugh about later. But little did Meg know that innocent recording would turn into a terrifying experience she'd never forget. Because when she later reviewed the footage, she spotted something chilling in the background. What makes this particularly disturbing is the fact that only Meg, her cousin, and her soon-to-be sister-in-law were in the house that night, and both of them insisted it wasn't them. Like her brother, they'd been knocked out after a night of celebration. But the figure that appears in the footage doesn't look human. You can make out a head and upper body, yet there are no legs, just a dark form hovering in the air before vanishing into nothing. Someone later enhanced the image and posted a terrifying illustration of what the entity might have looked like, and it's nightmare fuel. Even creepier is the way the figure seems to move, its arms twitching in an unnatural, almost insect-like motion, whether it was a ghost, a shadowing, or something else entirely. Meg is convinced this wasn't just a trick of the light. So what do you think? Was this a real ghost caught on camera, or is there another explanation hiding in plain sight? A mother named
Uh, let's see that again. I feel like I missed an important part of it. Let's go back. Let's go back. I want to see the actual, because there was a point where she was going back and forth. Right? It's not there, obviously. Um, because my thing is right now is that it's two different instances.
At first glance, the clip seems harmless, just a quick moment she filmed.
Okay.
It was meant to be a lighthearted memory, something to laugh about later.
Yeah.
Recording would turn into a terrifying experience.
You see, like over here, unless they were editing the video to show us, but if the video was brightened and if the video had any editing done whatsoever, we could pretty much scrap the whole thing. Because right here, it looks like there's a light on, or is brightened, or the sun is beaming that day. But then when the figure was caught, it looks dark, dim, regular.
She'd never forget. because when she later reviewed the footage, she
You see, that's what I'm talking about. There was a cut, and then the figure was there. Unfortunately, that could have been a different moment. Somebody trying to creep out the door. That's actually one of those what's it called? Like those robes and stuff with the hoodie and everything. It looks like PJs, to be honest. It doesn't look like it. There's floating going on. It looks like there's a bottom half. Like whoever this is had a robe, and the PJs are on the bottom.
house that night, and both of them insisted it wasn't them. Like her brother,
Yeah, unfortunately, both of them insisted it wasn't them, but there was a cut in the video from light to dark. And like I said, these are red flags. And as soon as I get a red flag, we have to dismiss. So, with that being said, let's continue on to the next.
what she saw on her baby monitor. It was just after 1 p.m. when she placed her daughter in the playpen and turned on her favorite YouTube video to keep her entertained.
Strangers' minds. I get it.
This was part of Kristen's normal routine. She'd often play videos for her child while she tackled chores around the house. On this day, she was doing laundry in the basement, but while she was away, something extremely unsettling took place in the bedroom. Upon reviewing the monitor footage later, she noticed her daughter suddenly turning to stare at the doorway, then blowing kisses as if greeting someone. Kristen was still downstairs the entire time. So who was her daughter interacting with?
I'm not sure if it's paranormal or not. I don't see the baby blowing kisses. It's just, babies, their hands are just, magnetized to their face. I haven't seen a baby that is not chewing or doing nothing with their fingers or whatnot. But that was a good throw. The throw didn't hit the baby, but it went in between the baby and the whatever fence or whatever corner, whatever this is, the bed. It hit this, then it landed there, this little blue rattling thing. So whoever threw it, it didn't hit the baby, but it went between the baby and this wall, hit that area, and it bounced over here. Now, we have to go with what the story is saying. There was nobody else but the mom, and she was doing chores. There was nobody there. But that's he say, she say. We're not saying nothing else. A person could have thrown this, even though that was a little bit not characteristic like of a parent to be like, here, kid, play with that, right? I mean, that is the feel that I get when I see this toy there and the way it was thrown. Like I said, the kids, they always put anything in their mouths. But what is it? Is it candy? All right, so something else was thrown from an opposite direction. Let's go back. What is this? A ball? looks a little weird, I gotta tell you. Not weird as a red flag, but weird as in like it's like a shadow hit it and it turned solid. But the baby is still looking at something.
From the video, it's clear the little girl is reacting to someone or something, though the house was empty except for Kristen. But what really disturbed her was what happened next. A bottle stem mysteriously appeared in the playpen. Her daughter picks it up and starts chewing on it. Moments later, another baby bottle comes flying and hits the outside of the playpen. Alarmed, Kristen posted a follow-up video, sharing more details about the unexplained paranormal activity.
Okay, so this is my daughter's playpen that she was in when the bottle thing happened. So she was standing right here. The stem would have fallen about here. And as you can see, like directly in front of that on the other side is the toy bin where the bottle had landed. It landed about here. There's nothing around that the bottles could have come from, especially because like they landed straight down. So there's a little dresser. And then over there, in there is where the dressing room is, which is where the bottles were. Where I put everything before I went downstairs to take everything out. So really no explanation. There's the monitor that caught it.
Watching the footage raises a chilling question. How did two separate objects located far from the playpen end up tossed toward it on their own? Kristen still doesn't have an answer. Her grandmother suggested that it might have been the spirit of Kristen's late mother, trying to help by letting them know the baby was hungry. It's a comforting theory, but Kristen isn't convinced. To this day, she remains disturbed and confused by what the baby monitor captured. What exactly was her daughter seeing? And who, or what, was behind it? A man lives alone.
So, like how I was saying, it is an interesting thought to say the least. Um, that's wild. I just checked how long I've been recording, and for like a couple of seconds ago, it was like the same same as this coincidence. But yeah, uh, I am believing the story that they were experienced that she is afraid. Not quite sure. We cannot really come up with a rational explanation for it to be paranormal because we're gonna have to go with what we heard, but I do believe that she is afraid, distraught, and if she is telling the truth about the story, which I leaning more towards that she is, then we have to consider certain things. Now, as far as the paranormal activity is concerned, if there is something malicious in there, it would have hurt the baby, but it didn't. It did seem like it was just giving the baby things that it might want. We see it on camera as though it's things being thrown, but it didn't really hit the baby unless it has completely the worst aim ever. But if it I with what I've with what I've experienced, if a ghost wanted it to hit someone with an object, it is pinpoint accurate. That is for sure. Especially for a baby that's pretty much standing still. So I don't think it's something malicious, but it's something to look into. We just need more information for us to go by whether if it was, and if it is, what could we do now?
For several nights, he kept hearing the unsettling sound of a woman laughing, coming from different rooms in his apartment. Every time he checked, no one was there. At first, he thought he was just imagining it, until things escalated. He began seeing what looked like an elderly woman slowly moving through his home. It became a nightly occurrence. Friends brushed it off as a joke, so the next time he heard the cackling, he grabbed his phone to document what was happening. What he recorded is the stuff of nightmares.
more time. We're gonna do it one more time. Look behind you. Oh.
In the video, a shadowy figure can be seen standing silently in his living room. But when he turns back to look again,
Just in
the
case you
figure's
guys see this
face is
fake.
now staring directly at him. Terrified, he looks away, but when he glances back, it's gone. Or so he thinks. As he scans the room, the figure suddenly appears much closer, almost within reach. In a panic, he runs, but the terror isn't over. As he swings open a door, the dark figure is right in front of him. He slams it shut, opens it again. Nothing. Then, checking the living room one final time, the face suddenly reappears inches from the lens, and that's where the footage cuts off. Whether real or staged, this paranormal video delivers a powerful scare. One thing's certain, ghost encounter or not, but this one's really scary. Brandon worked alone in night shift, patrolling a quiet shopping mall all
So yeah, apologies. I received a message on my phone, but that video I'm gonna is complete. What kind of whack? I'm sorry. I am reading Marvel, and if this is Spider-Man, what kind of freaking bootleg Spider-Man is this? I've never. This ain't no Spider-Man. you know. But anyway, that video was completely fake, which is why anything's gonna catch my attention, like a fake ass Spider-Man. So that was all orchestrated, a good ruse to scare you. Cause yeah, for somebody watching that, like as far as a movie scene is concerned, yeah, pretty good, pretty good. But real paranormal activity, come on now, guys, that's all fake.
by himself, making sure everything was locked up tight. One particular night, while making his usual rounds, he stepped inside a dimly lit supermarket and decided to record a quick video to show what night duty was really like. But what his camera picked up instead was something far more disturbing. Watch closely.
Son estos. El Santo, versión de Spider-Man.
That ain't Spider-Man.
La película de las lesbianas.
Oh my god.
2.0. ¿Qué cojones?
I'm gonna bash on this video so bad, just to let you guys know.
Amigos, no es broma, no hice corte ni nada. Bueno, estaba con los juguetes y de repente se cayó no sé si alcanza a ver, una mercancía sola. De hecho se escuchó cuando andaba con el boss Yogurt Light. Y esto no fue coña, amigos, esto se cayó solo de verdad. Y estoy un poco asustado porque no suele pasarme esto mucho. De repente sí se escuchan cosas raras y así, pero no es algo que digas, uy, qué miedo. Por lo regular, pues a todo le encuentro una lógica de por qué pasa, pero esto me sacó de onda, así muy de repente. Y ustedes mismos lo escucharon, no sé si se alcanzó a escuchar en el video.
As Brandon focused the camera on a toy display, a group of boxes behind him suddenly tumbled off the shelf, without anyone nearby. The noise startled him, especially since he knew the building was completely empty. He brushed it off as a strange coincidence and didn't think much over it. But things took a dark turn days later when he got home, starting with his dog's bizarre behavior. His dog began acting nervous and distant, often staring at Brandon from behind furniture or from across the room, like it no longer recognized him. Ever since that shift, the dog seemed afraid of its own owner, as if something sinister had returned home with him. Some kind of energy. maybe something from beyond. It was almost as if a ghost or dark presence had latched onto Brandon and followed him back into his normal life.
Akira, Akira, te quiero preguntar algo. Siéntate. Oye, Akira, ¿eres un nahual? ¿Es cierto que eres un nahual? ¿O es mentira? ¿Eres un nahual? Akira, ¿por qué no volteas a verme? ¿Eres un nahual? Ni siquiera me volteé a ver. Akira, y ni siquiera hay nada que esté viendo para que digas está viendo algo. No, simplemente me quitas la mirada.
After Brandon uploaded the video, several viewers noticed something spine-chilling. Near the end of the footage, the dog keeps glancing toward the staircase, fixated on something invisible to the naked eye.
Bestia, hasta ahorita me vengo enterando desde que subió ese video de. De eso que se alcanza a ver al fondo. La verdad es que ni siquiera me había dado cuenta, o sea, leía sus comentarios y todo, pero no llegué a leer comentarios sobre lo que se veía ahí. Y es que supuestamente es como una cara malformada, pero no recuerdo haber tenido nada, absolutamente nada ahí.
Liar.
If you look closely, you can make out what appears.
I'm sorry, guys. I know Spanish very well, so I know everything what this guy is saying. First and foremost, within the warehouse of bootleg stuff, I wouldn't buy not even a freaking shoelace up in there. But um, yeah, my red flags is that it seeing why is he recording in the first place, right? Like that's my thing. And let's say the reason why he was recording in the first place is just to show all the cool fake products that he has. It's just kind of coincidental that within a couple of seconds of the video of him showing whatever, we see boxes fall over. Although we could assume that even if there was nobody there, those boxes were stocked up pretty recklessly. It looks like it could have been tilted with a sneeze, right? But it happened within seconds of him showing us his bootlegs. The other thing with the dog, yeah, sometimes you cannot really explain the actions of a dog unless it is trained to do so. But it could have been caught in different instances, especially if you have in mind, I'm going to create a paranormal video to get clicks. So he got all of these videos, put them all together, you know, and it was just different instances, different days. Who knows? He probably yelled at the dog and the dog was hiding from him. You know, dogs that I know of don't really like to take showers, right? I mean, getting wet is one thing, but scrubbing, putting shampoo and doing all of that stuff. The only reason why I mention it is because the dog was wet in that other video, but the dog was fine there, right next to him. All of this stuff, he says there was nothing there. BS, because there was another video where he had a couple of things there, and all of this was probably just things, storage, whatever he put back there, and at an angle, matrixing. You matrixing is basically something your brain is trying to form a image for you to recognize something when it's not. It happens quite often with clouds, with old mirrors that has like these manchas, these distortion, like when the mirror is old. Sometimes people say you can see a face and it's just just the old mirror, so matrixing. So this could be, it's quite similar, is that if somebody has a fan that's blowing, but you put a towel over it just so you could dry the towel off. If you wake up in the middle of the night, it's gonna seem like there's somebody with a towel on moving. So I'm already done with this video. Next.
To be a pale, eerie face lurking in the shadows near the stairs,
Does it even
just
look like a
standing
face?
there, watching. The dog seemed to lock eyes with it, Brandon hadn't seen anything while filming, only noticing it after he had already moved out. He swears there was never anything there that could resemble a face. Some believe the entity from the store came home with him. A real haunting? Or just coincidence? That's for you to decide. Rogaine used to love the peace working from home, until the peace turned into pure terror. Strange sounds had begun drifting through his house at night, whispers, creaks, unsettling bumps. At first he brushed them off, but the noises kept returning, growing bolder. Finally, hoping to prove he wasn't imagining things, he grabbed his phone and hit record. What he captured left him frozen in fear.
Hello?
Weird sounds are one thing, but how do you explain a cabinet door swinging open on its own? Rogaine insisted he was completely alone in the house. There was no one hiding nearby, and no string tricks to blame. After witnessing this, he wasted no time. He packed a bag and went to stay with family. But eventually, he had to return to clean up. Already anxious, he decided to record again while doing dishes, just in case something else happened. What he caught next was even more disturbing.
He's like, well, I'm done. Chores are good to go.
As he later explained in the video description, he didn't notice anything odd until reviewing the footage. But there it was, another cabinet creaking open, and a pack of cookies suddenly falling, right when his head blocked the only visible corner where someone could tamper with it. Suspicious? Maybe. But how do you attach a string to a bag of cookies without making it obvious?
Very easy. But here's the thing, I'm actually starting to believe the video, um, just because of the guy's reaction, not because of the commentary. The guy's action, the way he's moving, the way he's doing things, it pretty much goes very well with a normal daily life. And what and I could agree that if you are experiencing paranormal activity, you're gonna want to document it, right? So you're gonna put the camera not so far away from you, but just to record things, and I'm talking about when he was on the laptop. So yeah, things started happening. He got freaked out, he left. He came back and he wants to document more just in case, since he's in the house. So with that being said, it seems like the house is haunted. He is not. Um I would argue that you're gonna have to, find a good, get yourself some good quality cameras and just put them all over the house if need be, even if it's ringer bells, them ring cameras or like those nightstand cameras. Yeah, you'd be surprised that even normal daily house things like a baby monitor, since they're they could be used as like almost like walkie talkies, right? So doing things like that, trying to make contact if you want, because a lot of times what I found is that entities are looking for attention. They're not all demons. They just are looking to, for attention. They possibly have some unfinished business and wants to relay a message. There's just so many things that could be a possibility when it comes to entities. Why are they here? So sometimes they're trying to find somebody to relay that message to. All right, so let's see.
Soon after, Regain announced he was selling the house. Can you really blame him? Skeptics flooded the comments, accusing him of faking the clips, especially a few where wires seemed visible near opening drawers. But then, he posted this.
Hey guys, another sleepless night here, but I wanted to make this video real quick to address some things people are saying about my videos. In particular, that there's a cord wrapped around the drawer, saying that my videos are fake. I'm telling you, the toll it's taken on me is not fake. Here's the drawer, the infamous cord. It's my phone charger. I keep it here because you can access it from my bed.
You guys, I am going to tell you this. If people are trying to fake videos using the invisible string, you won't notice it on video, especially if it's night vision or in the dark, because it's like a nylon kind of string and you won't be able to see it. And depending on the movement of the camera, that's why it's called an invisible string. I wouldn't. I mean, there's no way that somebody trying to portray a paranormal activity event using this type of string and putting it out there for the public to see. This is not it, you guys. The more I see the video, the more I am believing that this guy is going through some stuff. So here's my advice, guy. All of this paranormal activity, if it's causing so much harm to the point that you need to leave your house, either one of two things you should do. And before you move, because it seems like you're gonna move, you have to cleanse yourself. Like, so there's no attachment going to your new home. What it seems like, since you left your home and gone to family's house, is that it's the house that's haunted. So you would need to gather all of your evidence, find yourself. It takes a little Google search. There is a paranormal group in literally every state, every neighborhood, and just do a little bit of research. Don't just go with your first choice, like getting yourself a car. You cannot just go with the first choice. You have to do some research to get yourself, what you want, what you need. Same thing with the paranormal group. Every I dare I say every paranormal group has some sort of social media. So just do a little bit of research. Make sure you don't come across. Excuse me. Sorry. Make sure you don't come across somebody that's trying to make some money or make some fame. Make themselves famous. Do a little bit of research. Get yourself some help. Gather more information, and if need be, depending on what route you want to take, you could go to church with it. Get yourself a priest in there. Get yourself whatever faith, or find help afterwards. But you're gonna need some more stuff. Yes, the cord is there. He is proving that it's there. That's his charger cable. But these aren't the type of strings being used to portray paranormal activity.
People are saying that it was used to open the drawer from over here. and that it's not visible later in the video when I close the drawer. If you look, it is certainly visible. I don't know. People just think everything they see on the internet is fake.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are showing me love, thank you. And I'll continue to keep posting updates as they happen. Thank you.
In that update, Rogaine revealed he'd started therapy to cope with the strange activity. He also challenged the critics, pointing out that a phone charger, as some suggested, couldn't have been used to pull the drawer from that distance. So what do you think? Is Rogaine truly living with an aggressive poltergeist that enjoys making a mess, or is this just a hoax? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
I do not think it's a hoax, you guys. What do you guys think? I think this guy genuinely needs some help. Now, he's getting therapy for all of this and that. I don't think that's the right way to take it. I'm not a psychiatrist. Sorry. I don't really, I don't think that it's the job for a psychiatrist. You just need somebody to help you out, my friend. So I hope you're seeing this video and actually, taking my advice. Get yourself somebody to help you gather more evidence. Take that evidence to wherever your next step is, whether it be a church or somebody else, or maybe even the paranormal group themselves can help you, but do your research very well. If you guys are enjoying yourselves, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.